Alright, so back to this third time's a charm, third video of the day, right? I guess I should get all three of these up, and they're all relatively short as well, so this is going to be another short one, I assume, because I'm just talking about this one specifically, the anime again. What's it called? I remember now. Rascal does Dream of My Girl Senpai. Funny enough, I don't remember anyone's names, because this is one I watched. Well, funny enough, it was only a month ago, but it's like, I already fucking forgot all their names. But it's something to work in. And what you want to talk about, as opposed to kind of the other two, because obviously I talked about the anime, but more so in relation to something. It's kind of, I've been making these videos quickly, right? The Omori video took a while, but the Beastars one was a bit longer because I talked about two different things. I talked about its, again, the lack of antagonist, which is the main thing, but then also its world building, because it's very interesting. So, again, I talked about that, but this is, again, more so this in relation to yet another ending one, right? This time, as opposed to it being a great ending, well, I guess it's still a great ending, right? Kind of being a great ending like the Anohara one, and more so great ending in, like, contrast to kind of a subpar show. Because I actually enjoyed this one. You know, I think this is a pretty, like, it's a fucking, you know, powerful, like, ending, right? You know, and this, I don't even know exactly what I want to title it yet, but more so, I guess something along the lines of, like, how impactful an ending can be. And especially in contrast to the anime, because I like the show, right? But the show is very much, like, lighthearted, right? You know, it doesn't take itself too seriously. I mean, the plots are, like, fucking, like, magic, right? So it's, like, or, like, magic things. And it's something to where it's also, like, it's, like, part romance. And I kind of mentioned this in my, what's it called? You know, the other one I did on the Takagi-san one, right? Where it's middle school. So it doesn't cross the fucking line that, let's say, like, these high school type, like, romance animes do, where it gets, like, weird and pervy and shit, right? It becomes, like, sexual, but it's something to where, because it does cross that line, right? It doesn't actually show anything, but it's something to where, because it does, right? You know, again, it's something to where it does all that stuff, right? And I did enjoy the show, right? It's something to where, yeah, I did actually enjoy it. But, again, just the contrast to how, like, lighthearted the show is to the actual ending, because just kind of spoilers, right? Spoiler words. So, you've got the main character, right? You know, he lives with his younger sister, you know, right? And his parents gone, right? You know, like, they're just wherever. Like, mom, like, died or something. The dad's just somewhere else. We don't see the mom, but... So, spoilers if you haven't watched it. And then, obviously, he has his, you know, his group of friends and people he's met along the way, you know, stuff like that. But it's something to where, and again, like I mentioned, magic, right? Basically, you know, there's just, they call it, what, adolescent syndrome or, like, puberty syndrome or something, where it's, like, just crazy things happen. Like, there's, like, time traveling, there's, like, invisibility or, like, fading, being erased from existence. There's, what's it called, right? You know, there's, I guess, what's it called? Physical, physical damage being done, like, through the internet or some shit, right? Or, like, physical, what would you call it? Impact or physical, what would you call it? I guess damage, yeah, you know. It's something to where, like, there's some crazy stuff going on, but it's something to where the ending is what hits the most, right? You know, it's the most, like, how impactful it is, how emotional it is, and how much it hits, like, as opposed to kind of anything else, but also, like, again, you know, just in contrast to what it's been, right? Because, like, kind of, spoiler alert for the ending, you know, kind of the Magnus opus, or, like, what would you call it? Magnus, I have no idea how you fucking say that term, but magnum opus, right? You know, of the show is that, like, the end and the final, like, I guess, puberty adolescent syndrome thing is that his sister, you know, the main character's sister, actually, when she went through it initially, she lost her memories and became a completely different person for, like, years on end. But we know in the finale, she ends up regaining her memories. But, again, her old memories, but losing the memories she's had over the past couple of years and becoming, like, pretty much a completely different person. And it's something to that, you know, it completely broke, like, the main character, right? Like, the protagonist. And, you know, the viewer, right? That's, like, again, you know, it also impacted us, right? You know, and that's why I'm talking about how impactful it was. Because it actually hit us, right? You know, like, with how emotional and how impactful it was, right? Especially in contrast to this show, it's like, wait, what the fuck's going on? Because you'd expect with such a lighthearted show, there's kind of a good ending, but it's something where you kind of realize the situation there, and you see it coming, because you see throughout the anime, you know, his little sister gain courage to, like, go outside, do stuff, go to school, right? but you see it coming to where she's having the same symptoms she had years ago, and you see the end game is, oh, her old self is going to come back, right? But she's going to lose memory of what happened over the past couple of few years. But something to where, again, that doesn't prepare you for it, because it's like you think, oh, maybe we'll get the best of both worlds. Nope, it just goes back, and it's just, again, we see how it hits the MC, the protagonist, main character. But also hits us, right? That was impactful, that was emotional, because we just got to see, again, right? What's it called? The little sister, kind of work on all that, and ultimately, actually, I guess, technically, achieve her goal, right? Something along those lines. You see all that, and then, again, right? And it's because the thing is, it's not sad. That's why I don't want to use the word sad. Well, I mean, it is sad, but it's like, I guess, what's it called? It's not just sad, but it's also kind of bittersweet in the sense that her old self came back, but that means that her new self left as a result, right? Who she was over the past couple or few years, right? It's bittersweet. And that's why, again, you're using terms like impactful and emotional, right? Something to where it's like, that's really how it is, right? And again, it's like I watched it and I'm like finishing that last episode, it's like, damn, what the fuck? In contrast, and especially in contrast to how the rest of it was, so you can really see the difference there. It's just, again, it's just something I want to talk about, because as opposed to, what's it called, which ending anime did I talk about the ending? Anohara, right? That one I talked about the ending being great compared to the show kind of being subpar. This, which again, right, I really enjoyed that ending, and I think it's worth it just for the ending. I honestly think, because it's literally it's only 11 or 12 episodes. So I honestly think it's worth watching it for the ending alone, because it's that short. But this one, it's more so just kind of how impactful and emotional the ending is compared to, in contrast to kind of the lightheartedness of the show itself. So you're seeing that contrast more along those lines. And again, something to where, and then B-Star's ending just wraps it back to the game, but there's nothing in between connecting them. So, but again, it's just, it's something to where it's with this, right? Again, it's just, you really see it, right? And it's really something to where, again, right? Because that's the thing, because I may have mentioned the terms depressed or something, right? But it's or sad, but it's more so bittersweet. It's more so bittersweet, right? Because, again, you saw it coming, we kind of saw it coming, right? When her symptoms started to reappear, you see it, and it's oh no. It's one of those moments where it's no, this isn't going to happen, right? There's no way. There's got to be some good way, but you realize that that's just not possible, right? Either she stays her new self or returns back to Orla, and we see that's what happens, right? But at the expense of her new self and what she became, right, over the past couple of few years. It's, again, you even see the protagonist, that's the best way to put it, the protagonist, main character, fucking broke down, because it's the person he knew for the past couple of few years all of a sudden is gone, right? It's something where it was replaced by who she was then, so it's happy for that, but sad for the sister he knew for that period of time, just, I guess, dying is a good way, is probably the best way to put it, but it's I guess being rebirthed, or her old self being rebirthed, right? It's again, in terms of that, it's just something to where it's it's just so impactful and emotional. That's why, these shows, I fucking watch them for, lighthearted shit, and then, all of a sudden they just pull out the rug from under you with something like that. It's that's why I can't be watching these shows. Because I watch them and then shit like that happens. It's well, fuck, god damn. But anyway, it's just, I think that's pretty much all I've got for this one. I just, again, these last three were, quick. Unlike the B-Stars and Omori one. Again, B-Stars, to be fair, I covered two things. Omori was just a long-ass video, right? But again, these three have been quick. And again, because it's something to where it's just again, it's just so emotional, impactful. And again, with, what's it called? I guess the future, with the current one I'm watching, right, which is The Little Witch, I doubt I'll make a video on that, because it's really out of my demographic range. But then also, I'll definitely make a video on Komi once that's done, because I have a lot to talk about. But it's still fucking going, so there's no point. I may as well just wait till it's finished. So I'm still watching them every Wednesday. Funny enough, because I'm not watching the episodes as they premiere, I'm watching them on Netflix. So I think I'm perpetually, one or two episodes behind what's actually out, but I just don't see a point in trying to fucking, if I were an entire season behind, okay, different story, right? But I don't see a point in torrenting them or trying to pirate them for just one or two. It's come on, you can hold off. But again, it's just something where, you know, in terms of that, right? So once that's done, those are done, I may make videos, maybe not. I just wanted to talk about this one because, again, it's just so impactful, so emotional, so powerful, really was the term I used. And it can really go to show, again, you know, well, show, funny enough, right? It really goes to, like, I guess, present that, you know, the endings, you know, it doesn't need to be all this, like, what's it called? It doesn't need to be happy ending, you know, it doesn't need to be built up through the whole show. Just, it needs to have that lasting impact, you know, emotional impact. Something where you really feel, and this is a good way to show, because it's really only the last, like, what, 2, maybe 3 episodes that kind of lead in that ending, but what does, right, you know, it hits home, it hits hard. So anyway, with that, I don't have anything else to say, so I think I'm going to end it here. Just something to where, yeah, I guess I just wanted to make these. I'm not sure when the next videos I make are, because I made the Omori Beastars one yesterday, now I made these 3 a day. I don't have any other anime watching. I have no more Omori videos that I plan on making for the moment. Yeah, so who knows, right? Who knows? So, and again, I finished the Ikikomori route, so probably aren't going to be any more. So just who knows, right? We'll see. We'll see. So yeah, but at least in terms of that, I don't really have anything else. So I'm just going to end it here. So, yep, that's it for that one. See you in the next one.